You want to call the previous landlord and have questions that you want to ask them. And I'm going to give you some of those to ask, but first of all, you want to make sure that you create a sheet for this so you're consistent in asking the same questions to the landlord for every potential tenant. It will keep you from getting yourself in trouble down the road. But here's some pointers that you want to call them and add the. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. Today I want to talk to you about as you're an investor and you've got an apartment that's come available, actually a multifamily investor, you've got an apartment that's come available, you've got a prospective tenant sitting across the table from you, and you want to call the previous landlord and have questions that you want to ask them. And I'm going to give you some of those to ask, but first of all, you want to make sure that you create a sheet for this so you're consistent in asking the same questions to the landlord for every potential tenant. It'll keep you from getting yourself in trouble down the road. But here's some pointers that you want to call them and the previous landlord, ask them, did they stay for the full term of the lease? Is it a 12 months lease? Did they stay through the whole thing? How much was the rent? Maybe these people now are going to have a roommate, they're going to be able to pay more. Did they pay their rent on time? Did they pay the rent on time, or did they occasionally they were overtime, and if they did they pay the late fees? So you want to exactly know that. Were they any other type? Did they create any other type of situations on property? Complaints from other tenants. That's kind of a big one. Did they have a pet? Is a good one. Did they maintain the property? Did they maintain the apartment the way you wanted to see it maintained? And then, of course, from there, did they get all their deposit back? Was there enough damage you had to give them some of their deposit back, or did you give it all of it back? Did they give the proper notice before moving out? And probably a big tell-all is these last two. Would you rent to them again? That's kind of that's a biggie. And then just ask the landlord, previous landlord, is there anything else that they would like to tell you about their past tenant? So having those, put those in a list, and again, make sure you ask the same questions every time. So thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you.